I feel like this thing is made to drift. Its turning radius is not good, but the stability.
Conductor.
What's good, YouTube? It's Mario Massa, and per usual, I'm driving more cars than NFS Unbound. Today, I'm driving this BMW M3 E46.
What, you think you're better than me?
Now, for those of you in the know, yes, this is basically just a worse version of the M3 GTR, but unlike in the game, I'm poor in real life, so we're just gonna have to ball on a budget. Besides, the E46 is actually pretty good, and hopefully I can show y'all with some quality race content. Alright, man, we are here in the M3 E46 again. Alright, it's not the GTR. If you know, the GTR in this game is very, very, very good. And I feel like this, you know what I'm saying, the E46 gets overlooked because the GTR is so good. But I promise you, this car is, you know, it's good. Just that's about all there is to it. Oh my God, we're lagging, guys. So yeah, it's very good. I love how this car looks. I don't know why, but especially in this game, like, I swear I'll like race against somebody and they'll be driving a BMW and I'm like, oh my God, that car looks tough, I need to buy it. And I buy it and I put parts on it, and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, this thing looks ass, what the fuck. Like, I always have like a weird, like, I don't know, like, when it's in my possession, that's when the car doesn't look good to me. But this M3, love how this thing looks. I've said it before, I love me a wide body kit, and this one does it for me. Besides the aesthetics of this car, it's just really good. Oh, hello. As you know, I love drifting, and so that's my preferred play style. And I feel like this thing is made to drift. Its turning radius is not good, but the stability, well, I think I just lied to y'all, but no, seriously, like, the stability of like the drift for this car is really good. Like I think a lot of rear wheel drive cars like have a specific like drifting handling model that is, it's not bad, but it's just, you gotta get used to it. And this one is like so stable. Guys, I sold the race because I crashed once. But yeah, like, turning radius is small, and so I feel like you just have to drift this car. And then the drift is super stable, so it all kind of works itself out, you know? Performance wise, the acceleration on this car, it's okay. It's not the best thing out the gate, but you know, it gets to the speeds that it needs to get to, if that makes sense. And then the top speed of this car is pretty good too. It's like 183, an A+. I got it in A+. I'm racing A+. You can make it an S too, but I don't know. It felt kind of different in S, so I just didn't test it out enough, I'll be honest. But you could, I know it's definitely good in S as well. So yeah, like, that pretty much sums up the performance of the car. Now we're gonna focus on, I think, these races with this guy. He's in this M1. Oh, my fault, Brody. Oh, my fault again. I wonder, are people honking on? I feel like I hear a lot of people that they just kind of honk, and so I'm wondering if, like, whoo, my fault again. I'm wondering like if they're honking on purpose, you know? We gonna come around here. Have to drift this a little bit. Now most people on that last one I take, most people cut the grass. And it always seems fast to me. I don't know. Because, like, I feel like when I try to do stuff like that, I'm always slower than, you know what I'm saying, my competition. And then when they take it, they just gain like a whole second on me. So I don't know. Also, if you're on long, I think this is a long climb. If you're on long climb, bro, do that little cut through. You get all your nitrous back for this part, which is important because a lot of times the race can come down to the wire, and this is basically just speed up here. So, you know. But yeah, do that one. That was a smooth little dub. Got one more. Honestly, when I really think about this car, I actually don't really know how it'd be competing. Like, on paper, I think this car is like kind of average. And then I race it and I tend to like just go kind of crazy. I don't know if this car is just kind of like the handling model is just something I really, it's just tuned to like what I like. But you know, it's kind of like the eye test for athletes, where it's like, you know, like you're kind of not really sold on their ability from like a statistics perspective, but then like you watch him and you're like, oh, he's a dog type shit. You know, that's kind of how I feel about this car. Hey. Why, yo? You know, people also do that, and I'm like, they gotta stop doing that. Like, there's only a couple times where taking that line, or like going out your way to, going out your way to hit the gas station is faster, and that is for sure not one of them. Hey. Okay, so the first race I did was actually during the recording session. During that recording session, I couldn't get any more like real compelling races, right? And of course, it always happens right when I stop recording. But I got into some races with this guy. It was pretty fun, pretty competitive, and it shows off, you know what I'm saying, what this M3 E46 is all about. All right, so you know what I'm saying. Get off launch. Launch is pretty good. He's in the RS6 Avant, right? And I've been seeing stuff about the RS6 being pretty good in A+. So he pulled it out. I was gonna race with the M3 anyway, but I was like, oh yeah, this is a great test. You know what I'm saying? Just to showcase what it's about, right? And it's pretty even. You see, I take the turn. These turns I take up here, honestly, weren't the best drifts of mine, but I was kind of I kept looking back. I was gauging to see, you know what I'm saying, what was gonna happen, and he was keeping with me. You see, he's right there. I slide a little too far, right? I was keeping the inside, you know what I'm saying, so he couldn't just overtake me. That drift was awful, but that was more of a courteous thing, kind of like, hey, I'm gonna give you room on the outside. You know what I'm saying? I do the same thing here, drift wide on the outside, because when you're behind somebody, you're already gaining burst just from the draft. So like, they're gonna pass you eventually, even if they're not like, even if the car is not better than you or faster than you always. You know what I'm saying? You're eventually gonna build a 3-bar and just, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way that the game works. So I just let it happen, and you see I built my own 3-bar, so that way I'm prepared to pass him, you know what I'm saying, whenever the time comes, right? Come down this turn, you know what I'm saying, both of us, boom, hit that burst, right? And now I'm waiting to pass him on the inside, but I mistime it, drift, and this part is so bad, right? Boom, hit a little bump. I hit a bump right as I was about to turn, missed the checkpoint. And from this point on, pretty much the race is over, right? And honestly, during this race, I was doubly pissed because I was like, damn, like at that point in the race, I was like, oh, this is gonna be really good. If I can just like keep it clean, it's gonna be a really good race. But you know what I'm saying? I caught up at the end, but as you see, he's hit the GGs. A little upset with myself, but I was like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? If I can get another race in, it would be straight. And so I would actually get another chance to race at him. All right, he did another endurance race. It looked like he was just testing out the Audis and A+, which I got no problem with because I like him too. So he had pulled out the R8 for this one. I've also seen stuff that said the R8 is pretty good in A+. I got it, you know what I'm saying? At this point, I have it, and I have it in S. And let me tell you, that thing's a monster. So I was already, you know what I'm saying, I was expecting a very good race, especially after the performance that we put up last time. I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be great. You know what I'm saying? So it's fresh out the gate, right? R8. Keeping with. At this point, I was like, all right, because I'd already raced him once and I knew I messed up, and that's why I wasn't able to win it. You saw me catch him at the end. I was like, all right, so let me just make sure my driving is solid. Don't try to go too crazy on, you know what I'm saying, when and where to pass. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it with him. You see, he three bursts, or he burst, I burst. You know what I'm saying? We burst type shit, right? We come up on this little part here, and he's drifting a lot, right? And this is actually, he actually do a little, I might put this in my bag a little bit, right? He burst through into the gas station. You know what I'm saying? He get his regular nitrous badge, which, you know, I've never seen anybody do that, so I'm on that. But he takes his turn badly, and I'm like, all right, bet that's my place to pass. You see me accelerate through. Like, you see how fast this M3 is moving, right? We hit this. I'm actually moving so fast for the turn. I drift through and I burst out because I'm like, otherwise the drift is low-key gonna be ass, right? But he's still back there, and because he's back there, I was assuming he slid a bit, so you can hear that he let the 3-bar go off. I'm like, bet I give him, you know what I'm saying, I'll give him the right of way because I'm already knowing he's gonna pass me anyway. And then at this point, you know, another strategic little battle here. You know what I'm saying? I'm turning, I'm building. I got a 3-bar. I'm already knowing this turn. Boom, hit it nice and smooth type shit. I actually go far wide because I heard him burst, and low key I thought he was gonna pass me, but he didn't. And if I didn't do that, I would have had this 2-bar right here. But you know what I'm saying, I didn't. He bumps me, and because I'm assuming he was gonna pass me, and it's not like I blocked him on purpose, but it just was what it was in the heat of the moment. So now we up here. I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, I know I need to hit this turn smooth. If I hit this turn smooth, I feel like I'll be good for the rest of the race. And you know what I'm saying? That's what I do. Boom, hit that bitch 3-bar. I almost sold it. I was like, let me make sure I don't cut it too close, which clearly I did. But that put us in a really good position to, you know what I'm saying, burst out of here and build up speed for this part right here, which is, this part right here is all about your top speed, which, you know what I'm saying, the M3, again, it's top speed 180, which is, for a balanced build, is good, but it's always good for these, like, you know what I'm saying, like combination type tracks where there are sections of like long roads that you can actually, you know what I'm saying, so you can actually do something with it. And so because of that, I built a little gap. You know what I'm saying, burst through those 2 turns. I build an even larger gap, and at this point it's just about, you know what I'm saying, not messing up. But yeah, I say all that to say that I was able to, you know, I kept that gap and I widened it, and I got that race. So it was 1-1. I don't remember what happened, but you know what I'm saying, those were great races to show off the M3. And with that being said, we'll just go right back to the stuff I actually recorded. Alright, now let's get into this build for this M3 E46. Alright, we look at these stats here. 180 top speed, right? That's literally smack dab. Personally, I feel like that's where you want your top speed for a little balanced build, you feel me? 0 to 60 is 3.6 miles per hour. That's decent. It's not the fastest thing off launch, not the fastest thing, you know what I'm saying, getting up to those speeds. It's around average, gets the job done, you know. Quarter mile is 11.5. Again, not super fast, but it's around the average time. When we're looking at the engine, we're looking at the final pro option that you have, the 414 brake horsepower, 4-liter flat 6. In terms of the actual parts, I say it once, I say it again, you know what I do. Chassis, elite road suspension and tires. The brakes will be downgraded as much as possible, so in this case it's pro. An elite clutch, an elite differential, and then the drivetrain here is the lowest it's possible. It's the 5-speed. Again, nitrous is sport. When we look at the actual parts in the engine, the induction is super, and literally everything else, the ECU, the fuel system, the exhaust, and the turbocharger, all of those options are pro. In this case, for the turbocharger, we've got a dual turbocharger going on here. And so yeah, that's it. Pretty simple build. I only have it in A+. You can make it in S, but I just don't have one, and I certainly don't remember the numbers from when I did have one, so just gonna have to rock with my A+ one for now. Alright guys, that was the M3 E46 in Need for Speed Unbound. Again, it's not the GTR, but it gets the job done. Alright, if you liked what you just watched, please give me a like. Don't know how it helps, and I should probably figure out how it helps eventually, but until then, I'm just gonna keep asking. Let me know what you thought about the video in the comments. Let me know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Let me know if there's anything I should, improve upon in the videos, that I should change. Let me know if there's some cars you think I should try. And last but not least, if you rocking with me and how I present this content, and you want to see more from me, specifically not just Need for Speed, because eventually I will do some other stuff, but if you want to see me play some other games, maybe hit me with a follow. But until next time, this is Mari Masa, Need for Speed Unbound, and I hope to see y'all again.